How's it going, everyone? I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about Star Citizen and some of the most common questions I see from new people looking to get involved and pledge into Star Citizen. Uh, there's so much information out there. I feel like a lot of people get inundated with the information and they can't find an answer to some of the most simple questions that are possibly overlooked. So I wanted to take a few minutes and just kind of guide you through Star Citizen, the store, the difference between ships and game packages, and hopefully help guide you down the right path of starting your citizenship in Star Citizen. So the first place you want to go to is the game packages. Now, the difference between game packages and the ships is you've got, well, first off, ships will give you a list of all ships, whether they're being sold right now or not. Uh, so, for instance, I mouse over the Starfarer that is not actually for sale right now. Some ships are only sold on a limited basis or during special events. Um, a lot of times they'll come out with concept ships and they put them up for sale. And what that is generally doing is providing an initial funding to fund the development of that ship and all of the people and resources it requires to uh, manufacture the ships in the detail that they make all of these ships in. But back to point at hand here. The store, game packages, is where you would want to start. And the reason why you want to start with a game package is because if you get a standalone ship, you're not going to get the game. Uh, and the reason why that is, why they don't include the game with every single ship, is there are some ships that are not meant to be starter ships. You're not meant to be a player that only has one ship, and that one ship requires a crew of 10 people in order to operate the ship. That's not reasonable. The upkeep and the cost to run a crew on a ship like that is just not viable at the beginning of the game. So one of the first places I direct somebody to when they ask me about Star Citizen is don't don't go overboard. Don't feel like you're obligated to spend 60, 75, 125, 2,500, 15,000 on this game. Uh, I mean, if you've got the funding to do that and you feel like you can, by all means, go for it. But as far as a new player in Star Citizen, a new backer, start with a starter package, the Mustang Alpha or the Aurora MR starter package. These packages come with a number of items. Well, all packages come with a number of items. What you're going to see in every package is a hanger. There are 4 different types of hangers. A digital Star Citizen manual, which has not been created yet. That's going to be passed out once the game's further through development, most likely after beta's been completed. The starting money, some of the bigger packages give you upwards of 20,000 UEC, which would not be enough to manage the bigger ships even at start. Star Citizen Digital Download, which gives you the ability to start playing the alpha immediately once you pledge in and become a citizen. And then the amount of insurance. Now, I wouldn't get hung up on the type of insurance, the number that you see here, 3 months. That doesn't mean that from the time of hitting the add to cart and becoming a backer that you've got 90 days of insurance on this ship that you just purchased while the game's in alpha. That's not how it works. And even then, once the game is no longer in beta and is actually released, that's when the insurance becomes part of the game. This number will not start counting down until after the game is out of testing. Now, another thing to add to the insurance is it doesn't count days that you're not playing. So if you play 2 days and then you take a month off, you've only used 2 days of your insurance on that ship. You haven't used 2 days in a month. So consider that when you're looking at this. Don't let this sway you, because you're not going to be using a starter ship for 3 months. I guess some people will. They'll choose to do that, but if that's the case, they've already also stated that the cost of renewing insurance on a ship is going to be a small fee, something that will be easily obtained with normal play. Another point that I want to nail home is that you don't need to buy every ship with real money. All of these ships are going to be available with in-game currency, and in fact, after the game is out of beta, they have zero intention of selling these ships for cash, for US dollars, or for any type of currency. You have to buy them with in-game funds. Now, you can circumvent that by buying funds, in-game funds, UEC, through the online market. However, they're going to have a monthly cap on the amount that you can actually buy per month, and that cap is going to be relatively slow, or not slow, but low. You wouldn't even be able to buy a Constellation Andromeda with the amount of money that they're capping it at per month. It would take you several months of trying to spend money to do that. Another item that I wanted to discuss would be the in-game. So what we have here is Voyager Direct. This would be a conversion of spending UEC, which is a conversion of $1 US to 1,000 UEC. So in this case, $18 if I wanted to buy this cannon. If you ask me, it's not very cost efficient, because a lot of these weapons are in flux right now. One patch, you're going to see the Tarantula be very overpowered, and all of a sudden it's the meta for PvP. And then the next patch, it's completely nerfed. All of these things, they're still trying to figure out the sweet spots for a lot of these items. And do not spend UEC to test a weapon. It's probably the worst idea you could do, and even Chris Roberts has stated that's not what the system is designed for, to test weapons. Electronic access. Get the right link, actually. Electronic access here. So with electronic access, this is rec. You can actually earn that in-game currency by playing in online matches with Arena Commander. As you can see, you can rent ships, you can rent weapons, and a lot of these, I mean, you can rent some of the Vandul ships if you were interested in doing that. Most of the major ships that are available in the game that are flight ready are rentable with rec. You don't have to spend a cent today in order to rent these for a week. And again, just like with insurance, if you don't use the ship on that day, then that day does not count. So if you rent the Vanguard on one day, you use it that one day, and then you don't use that Vanguard again for a month, well, it's only counted that one day. So it only counts days that you've actually used the ship. And the same goes for the weapons. You can rent any weapon, and that's what the system is really designed to allow you to play the game, which they want people to be playing the alpha and submitting bug reports, and earning rec by playing in online matches, and renting weapons and testing those weapons for the game development. I will be following this video up with a second video that has to do with all the in-game features. So expect that within the next few days. Hopefully this answered any main questions you had. If you have any questions, definitely feel free to send me a message or leave a comment, and I'll try and answer as best I can. Thanks.